That sound means one thing only.
It means the Battery Podcast is back.
And we are returning to our roots this week. We are going back to a baseball show.
Straight baseball. It wasn't on purpose.
No, it's been a slow week.
Just kind of happened.
Yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot going on in sports. And I'm not going to sit here for an hour and talk about the NBA Summer League or the fact there's nothing going on in hockey or football.
Jason Tatum, Boston Celtic, absolutely balling.
Yes. Lonzo Ball out here hooping too.
Yeah, he got put in a blender by Bryce Johnson, former UNC Tar Heel, so take that.
That's all everybody. The NBA talk we've got this week. Sorry.
All right, now to move on.
Yeah, sorry for those of you who started listening when we were talking during the finals.
Sorry for those of you that were listening strictly because we talked about basketball.
No, this is a baseball show at heart. Always has been and always will be probably. But we are back, inside or right at a week since the last one. We're doing a good job. Chill out. No. We made the mistake last week of getting incredibly drunk while recording this podcast. Some of us are going to try to do this show sober today.
I'm trying to do it sober-ish.
Sober-ish wouldn't be bad.
Also, I apologize for the product that we put out last week.
Both of us need to...
I did not realize that it was going to be as bad as it actually ended up being.
Or as sloppy?
As sloppy as it ended up being. I still haven't even heard the entire podcast because I'm afraid of how it will actually sound. That being said, we have gotten nothing but good reviews on that podcast.
Everybody that's listened to it seems to really love that episode, so it wasn't as bad as we thought it was going to be.
I thought it was going to be absolutely horrid.
Yeah, and it turned out to be, somewhat decent. We stayed on topic for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, it just sounded like drunken rambling for a lot
it just
of
sounded like slurred us.
Yeah.
Like it was the exact same show. It just sounded like
it sounded like we had a few beers, and that's exactly what happened. But this week we're gonna try to get back on track and deliver the show, the quality podcast that
you guys all love,
enjoy listening to. The reason you come back.
I'm sorry, but we have to shout out Knockahoma Nation. I will shout out Knockahoma Nation because that was I got so excited when you told me that.
It's great that another podcast is out here listening. We appreciate all listeners.
We appreciate everybody that actually takes time out of their day to listen to what we say. But it was just the fact that Knockahoma Nation, a podcast that is well known at the very least in Braves
country, yeah.
Actually, one of the guys took the time out to listen to what we had to say. And we were talking about it. The fact that he was talking about Haas and who I would vote for in the All-Star game, he listened to it. It got deep.
You didn't just skim that one.
And, dude, I absolutely appreciate that.
We both do.
That means...
It means a lot to us.
A lot more to me than I can ever put into words.
As a significantly smaller podcast.
Yeah.
It means a lot that another crew of guys, or guys and gals, because everybody can do a podcast, but somebody took the time to listen and not really critique
that
us, but
has a little clout. Yeah,
yeah.
And I think the fact that he enjoyed it made it even better. Like it was cool.
Yeah, that was
really cool.
That was a big deal for both of us. So again, like Ricky said, shout out to Knockahoma Nation. Continue doing your thing. It's a great podcast. I have listened to like one episode, but it is fun from what I listened to.
Yeah.
So
let's now to get back on this ratchetness that you guys came here for.
Exactly. You go there when you want quality sports reporting. You come here when you want to hear two guys get drunk and
just
do a
ramble.
podcast. But we are back. We are returning from All-Star festivities. We are back to normal baseball schedule.
Right.
Or activities, baseball activities. And we're actually watching the
Braves game.
The last third of the Braves game tonight, hopefully. I'm not trying to stay up all night and watch a Braves game.
I will.
I
eat, sleep.
That's fine. That's fine. I can't do it tonight.
Braves baseball.
Tonight is not the night for staying up all night.
What's wrong with you?
I'm not feeling it tonight. I don't want an extra inning game at all.
If it ain't in a Braves W, I don't care. And I feel you because I actually missed Matt Kemp's walk-off.
Yeah,
that was a day when I just...
There are
like,
nights
man,
when you just don't have it in you. So
no, I hear you.
Everybody has those. But like I said, we're back from the All-Star festivities, and that's where we're going to start our show.
Right.
We both watched the Home Run Derby. Ricky said he has not watched all of the celebrity softball game. I watched most of it. I watched enough to know that it got out of hand. Like the score was.
Don't tell me.
It was a football
Just
score.
don't tell me.
That was.
Just don't tell me.
It was ridiculous.
But
First thing I want to say about the home run derby before we get into the actual game itself, Justin Bohr made me look like an idiot on this very same show.
This very podcast a week ago today. Yesterday.
Yeah, a week ago yesterday.
I absolutely thought Justin Bohr was the one that didn't deserve to be there. And he comes in, and in the first round, he hits the second most home runs in the entire round. And I actually have something to say about that because this has been bothering me literally since the end of the first round.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way that the home run derby is set up.
The format
is
interesting. Cool. Yes.
It's very interesting. But I feel like it's just not fair for the top four guys that hit home runs.
Not all of them advance.
Two of them advance because they beat the other two.
Yeah.
But literally all of those guys hit more home runs than everybody else. And also with the fact that that's coupled on top of those two guys that they beat are in their home ballpark, it felt shitty to me.
That's a fair assessment.
I hated that.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
The home run derby has always been about who can hit the most home runs.
That's what it's been about. That's what
who can hit the most in 5 minutes or 4 minutes. You get the extra 30 seconds.
I like the time.
The time is fine,
yeah.
but there's got to be some way where you go back and say, "Oh, you still have to surpass somebody else to get in.
Right.
You can't just win because you won your bracket.
Right.
Like, no.
It sucked.
Imagine if we ran like the NCAA tournament that way.
It'd be bad.
Yeah, like if FIU scored 75, but Duke only scores 47.
FIU's going to the national championship,
exactly.
and Duke sent home.
That would be messed up. So
it just sucked, man, to see Justin Bohr come out and put on just an absolute show in front of his home fans
and still not make it.
He gets sent home in the first round. I would have loved to have seen more of Justin Bohr.
Another guy that I wasn't necessarily sold on that really impressed me was Gary Sanchez. After
his first couple swings, I felt like he wasn't going to be impressive. After his first couple, because he was grinding out.
Yeah, but then something clicked. And
I don't know what he did, but I think he had to talk to himself or something. But he turned into this.
He turned it around
home
real
run
quick,
hitting machine,
and made it a lot of fun. Of course, the guy that outside of Giancarlo, the defending champion, the other guy,
who didn't have a bad day.
No, he had a great showing, and that's part of the reason we both have a problem with him not advancing.
Yeah,
despite hitting over 20 home runs.
He didn't hit 20 the other day. He hit 17. Justin Bohr hit 22.
You're right. I'm getting them mixed up. But David Peralta's one of my favorites. I love him. Anyways, despite Giancarlo, or other than Giancarlo Stanton, the one guy I think most people wanted to see was...
And he did not disappoint.
Your major league leading home run hitter, Aaron Judge. He is a 6'7" man-child. And
don't even throw a child on there.
He's a manly man.
I mean, I get what you're saying because the dude's 23.
He's young, he's real young. He's got that baby face, but
nobody that big should be referred to as a child ever, and he shouldn't be playing baseball.
There were a couple of home runs he hit in the home run derby,
500 feet.
Not just that, but there were a couple of them that I didn't think should have went out from where he hit them. I think there were a couple he hit the other way,
or benefit of Marlins Park.
Yeah.
But when somebody's hitting
or even
513,
but even some that he looked like he mishit,
they went out.
It just shows you just how strong that guy is.
Right.
He's I'm not 6'7", I'm not built like he is, but he's younger than I am, and he's out here hitting 500-foot home runs.
And he's much stronger,
and is embarrassing that baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely obliterating.
I mean, dude hit 513.
That's all you got to say. He had another one 496.
He hit 3, I believe, that were over 500 feet. He hit 513, 501, and I want to say 504. That's just absolutely ridiculous.
Way too hard or far to be hitting a baseball.
That's absolutely ridiculous, man.
That is outrageous. But,
I mean, he hit that home run in a game, 495, and it was just like, what? Because when he hit it, I was saying That's too close to 500 not for them to just say 500.
Yeah, just say 500.
Nobody at the game has a tape measure.
No.
They're not going to be able to say you're lying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just call that 500 feet because you're just pissing me off with the 495.
Yeah. Just say 5. But
Aaron Judge is just absolutely demolishing baseball.
I think Aaron Judge is for real, man. Aaron Judge is a serious power threat.
I got to see it more next year, though, too.
You're right.
Because Yasiel Puig absolutely tore up the MLB when he first came up.
There's tons of guys that, come up and pitchers don't know how to face them,
right,
and they just can't solve them. And the hitter benefits from that a lot.
Right.
But I really think that this guy, especially in a smaller ballpark like Yankee Stadium, is really going to benefit.
Yeah.
That power is going to carry over.
I just got to keep seeing it.
I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Yes, pitchers are going to learn how to face him, but he's also going to become a better hitter.
You can't bank on that, though.
On the same token, we can't bank on the fact that pitchers are going to learn how to face him.
I feel like you can bank on that more so than
maybe a little bit more, but
being able to make the adjustment to change.
Because, I don't know, man. This guy is out. He is starting to.
I mean, he's going to be facing a Chris Sale. He's going to be facing a Chris Sale at least 3 or 4 times a year. Like, Chris Sale is the kind of guy that is going to make an adjustment, and he is going to learn how to pitch to him. You know what I mean? Or look down the line, David Price.
158.
I mean, I get it, but I could go down
David Price get back to what David Price was, and he is.
David Price did what he did long enough where I feel like he could reach down and pull it out. I feel the same way about Justin Verlander.
Long enough.
He hasn't struggled long enough, in my opinion.
It's been a year and a half of straight struggle for David Price.
It hasn't been struggle.
He struggled all of last year.
It's been like
he was in the minors earlier this year.
He was hurt. He hurt himself.
You call it what you want.
He hurt himself in spring training. What do you mean?
Okay, regardless,
it's rehabs. It's people do that.
Okay, rehab start. Yes, but those rehab starts weren't great. None of them were.
Neither
great.
was Mad Bum's. Are you gonna keep him down?
Mad Bum got the stick though. Mad Bum can hit.
So you can't make
no. I'm not gonna keep Mad Bum down.
I don't know if you've ever seen it, but David Price hit a home run in batting practice and jogged around the bases like he knew what he was doing.
Batting practice.
I'll take it.
Batting practice pitches are what, 55 miles an hour? We'll say between 45
and 60. Which means you have
60,
to supply the power to put it out.
45 and 60.
Which means you have to supply the power to put it out.
But
it's much
Mad
harder
Bum
to hit a home
do
run.
It in BP, the home run derby, a regular game, backyard baseball, wiffle ball. It don't matter. Mad Bum is Mad Bum's going deep. Doesn't matter what the stage is, who's on the mound. Mad Bum is a serious threat when he steps in the box.
But he's a pitcher,
so
we're talking about his rehab starts.
I'm not keeping Mad Bum down.
We're talking about his rehab starts as a pitcher.
David Price has struggled for a year and a half.
But he was great for 6, 7 years. 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know how long he's been in the league.
Not in Boston.
Okay, he wasn't in Boston until a year and a half ago. Every year before that, David Price was an ace.
In much smaller markets. Pressure wasn't nearly as high. He wasn't
care.
attached to a $250+ million deal.
He made a World Series and pitched in that, so Tampa Bay went to the World Series.
I know Tampa Bay went to the World Series and lost.
I didn't say
embarrassingly lost.
He won.
And just
the last time the Braves made it, getting there is a feat. People don't just get there. People don't just wake up and get to the World Series. The
Braves went there 5 times in the 90s. I'm just saying.
We ran into a buzzsaw that they're making up in New York, though, and obviously they've been funded manufacturing us back up. I don't get what's going on up there. But, no, man, I'm not going to sit here and have this David Price slander. I'm
going to slander David Price until David Price gets back to what he was. Would I have taken David Price in probably the top 10 in fantasy baseball a couple years ago?
Would you take him right now
no.
if the Braves were to have a trade?
No.
Would you take him as one of those top?
I don't want David Price.
I would take him as one.
I would take Pablo Sandoval from the Red Sox before I'd take David Price.
You're tripping.
Speaking of, they DFA'd him the other day.
Yeah, we talked about it.
He is available. No, we did not. But I wanted to. No,
I
wanted to say something about
you.
Or something about it to you. But no, we did not get a chance to talk about that.
No, man, I'm taking David Price. He's good. He's a good pitcher. He was good for
Man,
long
David
enough.
Price only pitched 3.1 innings across 2 games in the World Series in 2008. So
I
your
didn't say he
argument is
pitched
irrelevant.
well. I never said he pitched well.
As a
Did I
reliever,
ever
he
say
had a
pitched well?
2.70 ERA.
Did I ever say he pitched well?
So what argument are you standing
So wait,
on?
he was a reliever in that World Series?
Yes.
Was he really?
Not good.
I thought he just
Not
started.
good to give up almost 3 runs.
I just thought he just
in
started.
3 innings.
I thought he started it and had a Clayton Kershaw type of thing going on.
Nah, he didn't even start his 1 win against
How long
Boston.
has David Price been in the league?
Since 2008. He was called up for that postseason run.
Oh, okay.
Or that's just the postseason stats, but I'm assuming 2008,
All right.
obviously.
All right.
If they're using him as a reliever?
Yeah. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
2008.
okay.
But the way I look at
Yes.
David Price, I was looking at stats.
Just give me it.
The way I look at David Price is he's been good long enough where if he didn't have that actual talent, people would have been able to adjust to him, start beating him up, yada yada yada. You know what I mean?
They beat him up a lot last year.
But I'm saying he was good for so long though. If he didn't have that actual talent, it would have happened much sooner. You get what I'm saying?
Maybe.
I mean, yes or no. You get
David
what I'm
Price is
saying.
being slandered on this show, and I'm here for it.
No, I'm not. I'm not here for it.
I'm always here for it. And trust me, like 2-3 years ago, before he gets to Boston,
We wanted David Price.
I'm all for David Price, and I'm not going to let anybody slander him. But right now, David Price, not good.
David Price wore Concord
Chris Sale-
11s on the pitcher's mound.
Yes.
So
Yes.
he can't do no wrong.
But also, Jimmy Rollins and CeCe Sabathia wore those same shoes.
Neither can CeCe, who
on
was
the
on the
mound.
DL for an oblique injury
Yeah.
right now. CeCe ain't got no
Yeah, I was going to say,
obliques.
can CeCe even find his oblique? He's 6'7" and 900 pounds. Can he find his oblique muscle?
But he is actually pitching. Is under the radar. CeCe is actually not pitching badly.
No, and he's done a good job adjusting to, his loss of velocity, and his command hasn't been great over
I
the
feel
last
like
few
he has
seasons.
managed it very well. CeCe
He has.
had.
He went from
CeCe
being
had
a
a year and a half or so
of
just couldn't figure
abysmal
it out.
pitching, yeah.
But after that, he's just. I talk to my dad about him sometimes, and my dad's like, he has 1 inning where he. God, Freddie's so good. He's so good. But he usually has 1 inning per start where
it just falls apart.
it falls apart. But let's say he'll go 7 innings that day.
Yeah,
And
but
that
it
was the
just
only
happens
inning he gave up a run.
Yeah.
Gave up runs, and so I'm really happy about how CeCe's doing. It makes me
Anyways,
proud.
this whole conversation was started based
We were talking about the
on
All-Star game.
Aaron Judge and his stellar performance in the home run derby. This is just embarrassing. We are not good at doing.
We just
podcasts.
ramble, man. I hate the fact that we ramble. Like
Obviously, we really care about the game,
I had to
or
pee.
else we. Ricky, you got to get a bottle or something.
that. I do gotta get a bottle. I need a catheter.
That's what you need when we record.
I said that. I need a catheter.
All right. Well, Ricky's gone again, of course. So I'm just going to riff on Aaron Judge and how I think he is creeping into generational talent territory. Yes, we've only seen 85 games this year so far, and, another, 20 last year or so. This guy has shown that power is never going to be an issue for him based on his stature. It's been fun to watch so far. I'm not a Yankees fan by any means. I don't root for the Yankees, but I do root for certain players. I never said an unkind word about Derek Jeter. And I probably won't say an unkind word about Aaron Judge. He put on a stellar show at the Home Run Derby, which is all we ask of these guys. When they go to these home run derbies, all we want to do is see the ball.
Oh my gosh.
We just want to see the ball travel. And that's what Aaron Judge did. Aaron Judge hit about 10 miles worth of home runs last week, and it was glorious to watch.
More
So
than that.
I was just being generous.
I mean, no, I'm not trying to argue with you or anything. I'm just
he hit
saying.
a lot of home runs.
It was ridiculous.
That's all we needed to see from him.
That's all I cared to see.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to what Aaron Judge brings us for the next, hopefully, 15 years. Anytime you see one of these young guys come up, I always want to see them play 15 years. I know that's a tall order.
But I really wanted anybody other than a Yankee to win.
I feel
the home run
you.
derby.
I feel you. They had a good chance, though, with 2 out of 8. 2 out of 8 hitters.
I still hate the fact that the 2 Yankees put out the 2 Marlins.
Yeah.
I'll never get over
Evil
that.
Empire, man. That's what they do.
Evil Empire. How you feel about the All-Star game, though? We talked about the fact that I didn't really get a chance.
Yeah, we started to talk about it in the car, and then you silenced me for this purpose.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the All-Star game.
You're tired of it.
I'm tired of the All-Star game in its current format.
Okay.
If it's not going to have any significant meaning, if it's not going to determine World Series home field advantage,
right?
Why are we playing a fully fleshed out baseball game?
Yeah.
Why are we playing something where these guys could seriously hurt themselves? You know, whether it's
because they're going to take it seriously.
A cleat digs into the turf,
right.
Or something like that. Why I could expand on this in all-star games across the 4 major sports in America.
Mm-hmm.
But why are we taking this seriously anymore? Why are we, instead of having these guys wear their respective jerseys during the game, let them wear these nice all-star uniforms that somebody has designed and worked up.
They wear on
like the batting practice and home run derby day. Let them wear those. Go out there in a pair of gym shorts and turfs, and play a slow pitch softball game. Like, these are some of the best athletes in the world, and if they're not going to be playing for something meaningful, whether it's a trophy or something that matters, why are we doing this to them? Like, something terrible could happen. It didn't happen this year.
Right. Might not happen next year.
Might not happen ever, but it could.
Possibility of it, yeah.
These athletes are great, don't get me wrong, and they deserve to be honored for the seasons they've put together. But I don't see the point in, the NFL doing anything other than a flag football game.
I definitely think the Pro Bowl should be a flag football game.
I think we should turn the NBA All-Star game into a 3-on-3 tournament. I think that would be a lot of fun. That's exactly what the NHL has done. It's a 3-on-3 tournament split up amongst the divisions.
Really?
It's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
And the baseball should be the same, Get 9-10 guys on a team, split them up. Hell, even if you want to continue to fan vote guys in, let those guys be honored for what they've done so far and just have fun with it. There's no sense in taking it seriously anymore. Let's leave the fences where they are. Let's just see what they can do. Put Chris Sale on the mound, underhanded, and let him get taken 450 feet with a softball. I want to see it.
Okay.
The game was super boring. 2-1.
The way I feel about the All-Star game is, first of all, I don't think it ever should have been. I don't think the home field advantage for the World Series should have ever been taken off the table because that always gave it.
It gave it
something
meaning
to play for.
Yes.
Yeah. But as far as the actual game, I didn't get a chance to watch it. Obviously, I got updates on my phone. Sounds like it was a great baseball game. And just from the updates, I don't have a problem with that because in my mind, that's saying that there's good pitching, good defense, and I know Yachty went yard and Robbie went yard, so it's good offense, I would think.
Very limited offense.
Limited,
when it happened,
but
it was
pitching
good.
beats offense. I mean, pitching beats hitting any day of the week. You know what I mean? So I feel like it was a good baseball game, good defense from what I hear. Bryce made a dumb error, didn't he?
There were 3 Nationals converging on a fly ball, and Bryce just looked the dumbest out of the 3. You had Daniel Murphy, Ryan Zimmerman, and Bryce all converging on a pop-up.
Yeah.
Probably should have been an out. One of the 3 should have caught this ball. And Bryce just, his hat comes off, as it's known to do.
Yeah.
So he can just let that flow show. And the ball just drops and hits the grass in fair territory. We've seen Bryce make these dumb mistakes before,
He's not the smartest.
He's not
He's got a GED. Dude didn't even graduate high school.
He actually graduated high school a year early.
He didn't graduate. He got his GED. He dropped out and got his GED.
Yeah, a year before you're supposed to graduate.
Yeah, but that's not graduating high school.
It's a graduation equivalency diploma.
So equivalent, as in he didn't.
As in equivalent to a high school diploma.
As in he did not graduate high school.
It's equivalent to. So yes, he did.
No.
He has the same thing that we have with different letters on it.
So he doesn't have a high school diploma. Anyway.
Regardless, he did better than we did in high school, and Ricky's better.
He didn't do better than I did in high school. He might have done better than I did on a baseball field, but not in high school.
Ricky, this is the same reason you hate Jameis Winston. Not because he's smarter than you, but because he went further than you in athletics.
Because he knew people.
Because dude went out there and balled in 2 different sports.
No, because if me and him are on the same baseball field and we're on the same level at a time, and he doesn't look anything special, and he's not outshining all of us, or
home run from both sides of the plate, same game.
That wasn't in my game though,
but same game nonetheless. Somebody saw it.
I'm just saying though, that wasn't in the game that I was in. I've had games where I went the hell off too.
But both sides of the plate, same game?
Nobody saw it, though.
Because you weren't a switch hitter, Ricky.
That's not why. A lot of people aren't switch. I'm not going down this path, okay?
All right.
Anyway, the All-Star game, I think...
It doesn't need to mean anything.
They need to make it mean something again, in my opinion.
Okay.
I loved it when it meant something.
That's fair. But those are your 2 options. Either, strip it down, make it basic as can be.
Yeah.
And just make it purely for fun with no risk of injury. Mm-hmm. The way we used to play home run derby with a felt ball. Yeah. Something fun.
Bring the fences into about 150.
And just make it fun. Or make it mean something and really take the game seriously.
Like this game that just passed, that would have been a great game to see who gets, home field advantage.
Or the game that Brian McCann hit the 3-run double in Arizona, ended up with All-Star MVP. Those are good games that determine All-Star or World Series home field advantage. But if you're not going to have a meaning to it, you've got to get rid of it. Or strip it down. Not get rid of it.
I'm not a fan of just watching people play. I just don't care to see that. And that's part of the reason why I think the NBA needs to just do away with All-Star Weekend, because what I saw this past year was absolutely horrendous.
Slam dunk contest. I've said it before with the slam dunk contest. What else can be done? You've jumped over cars and stuck stickers to backboards.
And that's the crazy thing, because, man, people have been saying that. Yeah. Right?
They've had to,
And then it's always like, oh my God, somebody just pulled something crazy out of their hat. But
with the drone thing.
But it's gotten to the... Yeah, he did.
He messed it up, but...
Yeah, but...
That was kind of creative.
And still, though, that's... I mean, you put a drone in it. Yeah. But it wasn't a creative dunk.
No. It was, you just brought props in.
Yeah.
How many more props do we have?
I'm so tired of seeing props.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of seeing props.
We've seen cars and motorcycles.
The 3-point contest has become the most interesting thing on Saturday night during the All-Star game.
I like the skills competition.
That gets so boring.
I like seeing the big men do it. I like seeing the big men do it.
Big men don't have better point guard skills than guards.
Nah, but when they bounce past that shit in there, it's cool to see.
I'm just not a fan. And the actual All-Star game on Sunday is just
it's like they forget what the word defense is.
It's an absolute waste of time. I hate it. And it was just really bad this past year because every year since I was a little kid, I remember it being serious through the first 2.5, 3 quarters. But in the fourth quarter, it turns into an actual game. Mm-hmm. And that is one of the coolest things ever. That's why I don't necessarily have a problem with the All-Star game from major leagues this past past weekend. Because you see the best going at the best. Mm-hmm. The best offense going at the best defense, and let's see who gets it. And that's why I love the fact that it did end in a 2-1 game, because that kind of shows... That tells me that they're right there together. In a best-of-7 series, it's a toss-up. Who you got? Who's going to win? In between the NL and the AL. Yeah. You know what I mean? So the town's kind of divided.
Now that could kind of be fun.
That would be fun.
What if we extended extended the break for a full week? We played a 3-game series between the AL and NL, and winner gets a trophy.
Injuries.
You're right, but
that's all that would.
I just want meaning behind it. That's all I ask for.
I hear you, and I mean, whatever they do, they could do a lot of different things, and I'll still have something to complain about. You know what I mean?
You're probably right. That's society today.
It's just like I said, I didn't get a chance to watch the All-Star game. It wasn't on purpose.
Miss a whole lot. You just missed a couple home runs.
But I also missed Yachty taking a picture of Nelson Cruz.
Yeah.
With
that was
Joe
cool.
West.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny, isn't
See,
it?
now, again, that's another reason why I think that it should, get into something less serious. Because we could see more moments like that. During the All-Star game, they had George Springer and Bryce Harper mic'd up, which was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, while they're, standing in left and right field, respectively, they were interviewing the guys, and that was kind of cool.
Just real quick, got an update. So you guys know when we're recording this, I just got an update that Cody Bellinger has just hit for the cycle.
That kid's real good.
Yeah.
And I tweeted during the home run derby, I didn't realize just how young he was until I saw his face.
He looks it.
He looks like a baby.
Yeah.
Like he's still in high school.
He looks really young.
Man, I also just got that update. Why am I behind you? Like so far behind.
That's all right.
That's a solid 10 seconds.
Yeah, it was easily 10 seconds.
Man. T-Mobile, you are slacking. Anyways, but yeah, I did not realize just how young this guy was until I saw his face. And him and Corey Seager, man, they look like babies for real.
Yeah, and that's the future that I don't see the Dodgers letting those guys.
No, not at all. Like if you wanna move on from Jock Peterson, cool. It's probably about that time.
The crazy thing is, Jock was the talk of the town when he.
Well, think about when he came up and what he was doing. He was doing.
No, you're right.
Cody Bellinger light.
He was either hitting a home run or he was striking out.
That's he was doing Cody Bellinger light things.
Yeah,
like a toned down, watered down version of.
Yeah,
Cody
no,
Bellinger.
for sure. It's just crazy that it hasn't been that long.
What, 2 years?
Yeah, and he's already. If you gotta trade him.
Yeah,
I mean he's expendable.
Absolutely. I don't know what else they've got going on in the minors.
I think the only guys I ever say for Clayton, Cody, Corey.
I'd probably protect Justin Turner too, just because they just extended him.
I would too, because
they
Justin
just
Turner
gave him money.
Justin Turner is weirdly really good.
He got a lot better when he left New York.
Yeah,
a lot better.
Because
I
saw him 17 times a year, and
now he's
at 19.
Now he's an all-star candidate every year, and he put together a great season last year.
But he deserved it, deservedly so. He's that good. It's just weird.
Well,
I don't like it.
Now that we've got the all-star festivities in the rearview mirror, we're moving forward.
All right.
We are now in my favorite part of baseball season, the time period between the all-star break and the trade deadline.
Yep. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Oh.
As a fan...
I missed his home run, too.
I did, too. I didn't see it.
I felt so
bad. As a fan of the managerial front office side of things, this is a really exciting period of time. We've already had it kicked off really... Well, not necessarily exciting, but, Chicago decided to make a swap.
I'm not a fan of that when they do that, but...
I mean, it doesn't
it's
really...
the same as New York.
Yeah,
New York.
It's not... It's the first time in 11 years that they've done it. So.
Very true, and I'm not saying that, they're necessarily wrong. It's just as a fan, it's weird to me, because those are supposed to be the...
Like, they're supposed to hate each other.
Yeah. So...
But... If you haven't heard, I'm sure you have, because now it's a couple days after the fact, but Jose Quintana is now leaving the south side of Chicago. He's going up to the north side to pitch with the Cubs, and the Chicago White Sox have fleeced the Cubs.
The Cubs have gotten rid of everybody.
The Cubs farm system, I don't care what you say about who they have on their MLB roster, their farm system is damn near depleted.
Is absolutely shot.
They gave up
the number 8 prospect, didn't they? Amongst other prospects they had.
As well as the number 63 prospect from Baseball America's or MLB.com's list, and 2 infielders, Matt Rose and Bryant Fleet. If you ask me to give up your 2 top prospects, both a position player and a pitcher, for one guy is crazy. Especially when one guy is not going to be all you need.
Right.
The Cubs clearly have more problems than just their rotation. We saw Wade Davis struggle the other day. We've seen that offense not be as potent as they were last year, despite returning just about everybody.
Which is weird.
Everybody-
The only difference I can think of is
David
Dexter
Ross is
Fowler
gone?
and David Ross. Yeah.
Now, do you think Dexter Fowler being a leadoff guy, catalyst for that offense, maybe that is hurting?
I thought coming into the season, I thought it would hurt, but seeing Kyle Schwarber in that leadoff role,
Kyle Schwarber was demoted to the minors not too long ago.
right? But he's back up.
Yes,
But seeing
but
Kyle
he was
Schwarber,
struggling mightily.
okay, will you let me make my point?
Okay,
Or
go for it.
You just
This
Are you
was a
done?
dude that was in like 200. Yeah, go
you
for
done?
it. Yeah,
because
he
at
was
the
in
beginning,
he was in J-Hay territory.
At the beginning, hey, wait a minute, that ain't J-Hay territory no more. Okay, watch your mouth.
Just saying.
All right, watch your mouth. Okay, at the beginning of the season, he did not do badly as a leadoff hitter. Okay, then he did start to struggle. I agree with you. Then they moved Anthony Rizzo there. It was like, okay, hey, let's put Riz there. He's hitting home runs to start off every game anyway.
Riz was killing it for a week and a half.
I don't know why he's not still there, if I'm being completely honest.
It was funny because I remember seeing that clip not long after, and he's coming back into the dugout, and they caught what he said on the mic.
Yeah.
And it was like, Anthony loves hitting leadoff. He's like high-fiving everybody as he comes back in. It was really
Anthony said that?
Yes. It was so funny.
Anthony loves hitting leadoff.
And he said it with this like childlike wonder. It was kind of cute.
It's really cool to see them act like us.
That's what they are. They're big kids.
They're just us.
It's a children's game.
They're us. But I don't think Dexter Fowler leaving is the cause, or even I'll call it one of the maybe factors.
Okay.
Only because he's not bad, and
I'll say what I think it is.
What do you think it is?
Championship hangover.
I think you could be right because they
partied a little too hard.
There's so much stress on that.
Yeah,
they finally got it.
Winning 95 games and not being able to make it to the World Series the year before, then finally getting over that hump and winning the World Series.
Yeah,
kind of like the Royals, you know.
Yeah,
the Royals did the same thing. Got to the mountaintop and fell off, then climbed that mountaintop, peaked, planted their flag.
They ran into Mad Bum. I'll never forget that World Series, only because like every time I think about the Royals losing the World Series, I imagine watching. I see it like it's yesterday.
I was so upset.
I see Mad Bum
when he came out of the bullpen.
Yeah, that's what I see.
I was so upset because I knew it was over. I was like, please put anybody else in. Please, anybody. Because that Royals team was really good.
I love Mad Bum.
I get you. I'm
very curious to know how his start's going tonight. He actually was activated tonight.
And he did make his first start since mid-April.
Yep.
I will actually check on that for you.
Thank you.
But anyways, back to the Cubs and White Sox. Like I said,
So you think the Cubs have a World Series hangover?
Yes, the Cubs are still reeling from all the partying and celebration they did.
Still a little too
basking
in the moment.
I think so. Maybe just a little bit.
Right.
That's not necessarily the worst thing.
But how do you tell somebody that hasn't won in that long how to react to it? Like, Ben was saying how he just absolutely hates the Cubs. Let's go!
That's going to give us the lead. Lane Adams, 2017 Nick Green.
Stop it.
Just
3-run double. Oh, you had a dance beat? Ooh, we're being recorded.
Yeah, we are. Braves are up 5-2. We're super excited. We're watching it in the stew. 5-3. I don't care about that whore.
What was I about to say?
I don't know, but the Giants are up 2-0 in the bottom of the second.
Dang it, man. I really thought I had a good point, and now I forgot it because I started watching.
We got so excited about the Braves.
I did, because I just turned and looked, and I saw people running. Mad
Bum has been through 2 innings with 3 Ks, no hits.
Sounds like Mad Bum.
Yeah, that's Madison for you.
Sounds like Mad Bum.
And pretty soon we'll see Mad Bum homers in his return from DL. So it's just a matter of time.
You are a big fan of.
I love the way he
Bum
swings the bat.
box.
Yeah, I don't care what he does on the mound anymore. I just want to see him hit home runs.
I don't blame you for it.
He should have been in the home run derby 3 years in a row now.
I think he should have been in one of those years.
At least
last
one.
year.
If we're gonna let people like Justin Bohr in,
Stop.
I know I slandered him.
You're okay. Losing that argument.
All right, so
already.
let me backtrack.
Stop.
If we're gonna put people like Charlie Blackmon in, who didn't disappoint necessarily. He didn't make it out of the first round, if I'm remembering correctly.
I remember him being in it.
He hit like 16, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he didn't.
12?
Yeah, I know he didn't hit 16.
It was something like that. It was an even number in the double digits.
Probably like 12 then.
Home run derby.
I don't even remember him being in it. I remember Seager, Sano, obviously the 4 guys we talked about. Who else was in it?
14. So I was right there. You were close. I was close, man. 2 on either side.
But I knew he didn't hit 16.
Yeah, because Cody Bellinger hit 15.
So. Yeah, and I just knew he didn't hit 16 because Giancarlo and Justin Bohr were so far ahead of everybody.
Yeah, until Aaron Judge.
And Gary Sanchez.
That was really a fun round to watch, man. That Aaron Judge.
Both of those two. I don't want to call it matches, but those matchups.
There we go.
Both of those matchups were very fun to watch.
Yeah, how you like that, Randall Delgado?
They came down to the... You used to love Randall
I've
Delgado.
never loved Randall Delgado as a pitcher. I loved him for what I saw him do outside of Turner Field. I've told you multiple times.
Who is it that you like?
Jair Jurgens. I loved Jair Jurgens.
Okay.
Anyways.
Randall Delgado in the bullpen. That's sad, man.
Yeah, he went from a highly touted Braves prospect to bullpen pitcher.
Is that Riz?
Yeah. Bullpen pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah. Poor Randall.
Okay, so we have discussed the All-Star Game at length, probably to the point where most people are getting sick of it.
Yeah.
Jose Quintana is now a Cub. And we are going to talk about, Braves are really killing it, laying out. All right. We can't watch games no more when we record.
Ender being great, I'm not stopping. So
okay.
I mean, we can either not record while the game's on or you can get over it. But I'm not going to stop watching Braves games.
All right. Anyways, back to the rest of what's going on during the trade deadline period. That's what I'm going to call those 2 weeks between the All-Star Game and the actual trade deadline on July 31st this year. Now, outside the Jose Quintana deal, there are tons of other people that are out there on the move or out there being watched by other teams. You know, the Braves are interested in. They were interested in Jose Quintana.
Right.
He's obviously not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But we did pursue him. We just did not match what the Cubs were willing to give up.
Which is
way too much. Because if we think about what it would have taken, Ozzie or Ronald Acuna as a position player.
I mean, the Cubs didn't get that, though. That's what I'm thinking. Oh.
But the Cubs gave that up. The White Sox got what, if they would have gotten that package from us.
Never mind. Yeah.
It would have taken a top 10 prospect from us.
I'm here.
Yeah, okay.
I'm here.
So we would have had to give up Ozzie?
We would have had to give up way too much, like you said.
Yeah.
And guys that I would not have been okay with for Jose Quintana.
Exactly.
Not saying that he's a bad pitcher or he's doing poorly. He's doing very well not very well, but he'd help.
Yeah, he'd help. Yeah.
But he's not worth nearly what the Cubs gave up for him.
Not at all. But, you have to give to get. And unfortunately, one thing that's done is kind of set the price for the rest of the starting pitcher market.
All right.
Now Sonny Gray and Chris Archer just became more expensive.
Yeah.
Whatever the Braves were possibly thinking about doing.
Maybe they became more expensive. Maybe. I mean,
I definitely think they have. Like Chris Archer and Sonny Gray to me are both more valuable. Plus,
very much so.
Chris Archer is still under control for 4 more years. 4 years. That's a lot of time.
And I saw something today that said that the Braves are looking for pitchers under.
Yeah, they want young, controllable pitchers. So and 4 years is a ton of time to have a guy under wraps. So If they had to give up 4 prospects, 2 inside the top 100, and their top 2 prospects, it would cost us an arm and a leg to get Gray or Archer.
I get what you're saying because it makes sense. If the Cubs paid that for Jose Quintana, then somebody should definitely pay more for Chris Archer and Sonny Gray. And that's a fact. That is very true. I agree with that.
We saw it during the offseason, when Chris Sale became, or when we found out that Chris Sale was available, And then the Red Sox ended
People
up
were
getting
trying
him.
but the Red Sox sold the farm. No.
The Red Sox gave up everything.
Right.
And then all those talks for guys like Jose Quintana and Chris Archer, they never came through. I'm thinking, again, because that price was set so high,
but
it just makes them harder to come.
But that's what I'm
harder
thinking. I'm thinking it gets to the point, man, where people are people, and the people in the Braves front office or whoever's front office it may be, you look at it and it's like they paid way too much. That just doesn't make sense.
Mm.
If they're going to ask this absolutely ridiculous amount for this player, then it's just not going to happen. And that may be what happened in the offseason, and that's why those guys didn't get moved. But I'd rather not have a Chris Archer than give up 10 of the top 100 prospects that we have.
I don't want to give up, Travis Demeritte or Ronald Acuna, Ozzy Albies, and on the pitching side, I don't want to give up Soroka or Tukey.
Tukey's been doing well.
Yeah, or even a guy like Sean Newcomb, who has now made his debut and is still with the team.
I don't even want to give up an Alex Jackson at this point.
I don't even want to give up Ian Anderson, who we just drafted a year ago. I don't really want to move off of too much.
I don't want to move
in
the
this
guy
farm
that
system.
I don't want to.
Like, what'd Brandon do?
Rewind it. I need you to see it.
Jesus, Brandon Phillips.
But I don't want to give up the guy that we just drafted from Georgia.
All right, if you guys don't know who Brandon Phillips is, he's the most entertaining personality in all of baseball. On a drop third strike, the man literally stepped backwards out of the box and stood there. The first catcher,
he was upset. It was the third out.
Yeah.
He just
the first swipe the catcher took at him.
He missed.
Then the catcher takes another swipe, and Brandon Phillips whacks him on the glove, obviously signifying that he is out. Now, Brandon Phillips, this is not the first time he's done something like this, because my favorite BP moment, what was it? Was he running down the third base line?
No, he was running down the first base line.
Oh, and he walks up to him, and
he bunted or something.
It was a terrible swing. But he's up the first base line.
It wasn't even close. It wasn't
close.
Close.
Taps the guy on the glove.
And he high fives the guy in the glove.
And just runs back to the dugout with a smile on his face. And I swear to you, I know I'm not crazy. I've told you about it. Brandon Phillips literally stopped on the third base line and high fived somebody. I've seen it before.
I've never seen it because we've looked.
I've looked for it at length.
Yeah.
But Brandon Phillips is that dude. Obviously.
That's my favorite Brandon Phillips moment
the dab last year
when he threw
behind the back.
Threw behind his back, man. He was doing it before it was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Brandon Phillips he's always been, slick fielding, just constantly got a smile on his face, pimping home runs from one knee. That's just what Brandon does, and I love it. So
he did. We talked about it earlier, though. He did set the bar way too high with that first home run.
Yeah, because now next time, it barely gets over the fence and he's busting it out of the box. We're gonna be upset that he didn't throw the bat into the chop house.
Because that first home run, man,
it was disrespectful.
It looked like a black dude that grew up in Atlanta. That's how he pimped it.
Redan High School.
Stone
Mountain, Georgia.
Shout out Sharena. That's my cousin.
Shout out to Sharena then, if she listens to this.
She went to Redan. I don't know if she does.
I hope family listens to this.
She has two babies. Oh, actually, shout out to Sharena seriously because she literally just gave birth not a week ago.
To twins?
No.
Oh, you said she had two babies.
She does, and she actually gave. She has a daughter, Summer Rain, and a son who was just born, and I don't remember his name. I feel so bad, but
damn, Rick.
Just know, Sharena, I love you. Congratulations on the babies. Aaron, shout out to you too. That's her husband.
Okay.
I don't really know him too well yet.
Back to the trade deadline stuff. Braves.
Sorry about
the
that.
Braves side of things.
Hopefully we can get some good pitching.
Yes, but there are also a couple pieces that we could sell. The Braves aren't going to be strictly buyers this year.
We definitely got guys we can sell.
We're not necessarily in a position to just buy.
Shut your mouth.
We're not. We're not. We're still trailing by, 6 games in the wild card?
Quick question.
Yeah.
Do you not see us as being playoff contenders right now?
That's not what I said.
With the guys we got.
Yes. I think we can still chase down that second wild card spot.
Okay, who do you think is messing up our chance of... Since we're sellers...
I didn't say strictly buyers.
No, I'm saying since we're sellers, though.
I don't think
if you think we're also sellers, who do you think is hurting the team? But
I can tell you one right now. His name is Jim Johnson.
Nobody's gonna buy him. Nobody's gonna get Jim.
I don't know, man. We've traded him the last 2 years, and we were trash. So.
If anybody's been watching anything remotely close to Atlanta Braves baseball,
I guarantee you this game ends in an 8-6 ball game, Braves way, because Jim Johnson's going to give up 3 in about 6 outs.
Gosh, he has been so bad.
He did it last night. Or, no, he didn't do it last night because Ender saved his ass. Kevin Maitan just promoted to Danville. Moving on up.
We are just promoting guys.
2019. Watch out.
Like I said to you, he'll be up next year probably. Well,
I don't know. Danville's
he won't be up
like
next year. Ronald Acuna will be up next year though for sure.
He's gonna be here by September. Watch.
Yeah, and I think he's gonna start next year with the big league club. But like I said to you through text, they literally just promoted him to AAA just because it made sense to promote him somewhere.
And that's part of the reason I think that we're going to be sellers and buyers at the deadline. We've got too much talent in the minors to continue to have guys like, don't punch me in the jaw when I say this, but a Matt Kemp, a guy like Brandon Phillips. Both of these guys I love dearly, but could help a serious contender make that run.
Siri, because he said.
I hope it. I'm suing Apple now. I'm suing Apple. That was racial discrimination. I'm not ending the show because we still got a lot to get to and we got about 30 more minutes of content. Ricky, get in a chair. Get in a chair, Ricky.
I can't.
Oh my God. Anyways. Ricky, I'm trying to do a show here. You are so unprofessional. He's the worst podcast co-host you could possibly think of. Anyways, like I was saying, the Braves have too much talent down on the farm with guys like Ozzie Albies, Travis Demeritte, and Ronald Acuna. Those are 3 guys right there. Travis Demeritte can play both corner outfield spots, second base, third base, and first. So that kind of, we can move Freddie back to first, trade Matt Adams. The corner outfield spot that's probably going to be Ronald Acuna's by the end of the season will be Matt Kemp's former spot. And Brandon Phillips is obviously blocking Ozzie Albies, who's been tearing it up. He's hit like 3... What was he hitting in the month of July, Ozzie? Like 395?
I don't think it was that high.
352?
Like 358 or something like that.
Yeah, okay, let's just say 352. I think that's what it was.
I'm going to pretend like that didn't happen.
Yeah, please. Back on track, Ricky. Be professional.
Dude, you lied to me and tell me that wasn't funny.
It wasn't. Because I hear it all the time. Siri is a disrespectful bitch.
Yeah, but you don't hear it while we're recording the podcast.
No, because I'm trying to stay on track. Like I said, we got about 30 minutes more content to get through, and we're running long again because of rambling.
I don't know how we did that this time.
Rambling.
We're not even drunk.
Just conscious rambling. We've had a good sports talk day.
We have, man. We have.
You guys missed out on the better parts of the conversation.
Yeah, we had to talk about why is Michael Jordan's number not retired as far as basketball,
and why Wayne Gretzky is probably the greatest athlete in North America.
Yeah, it was a great talk. We wish we recorded it. I won't try to.
If anybody has any waterproof microphones that we can clip to ourselves, we will start recording these poolside conversations because they are fantastic.
Because I will not try to recreate this conversation because it won't be nearly as great as it was.
I mean, we were hitting all the points you needed to.
It was beautiful.
I mean, we had sound reasoning and logic and everything. But like I was saying before you so rudely interrupted me with your cackling.
I didn't interrupt you.
You interrupted.
Your phone interrupted you.
You interrupted.
Yes, the N-word.
You interrupted. The Braves have talent on the farm that is being blocked by some of these established veterans.
Where's your phone?
My phone is in between my legs where we don't need it anymore. We're going to try to keep that, disrespectful, racist Siri out of the show from now on. I hope that nobody had to
Just
hear
out of
that.
curiosity, did you tell Siri your name was...
I didn't tell
the
him
actual
that.
N-word?
No,
or?
it just says the N-word.
The N-word.
Yeah,
okay.
Joe did that a while ago. So,
okay.
Shout out to Joe.
Shout out to him for not saying it.
Yeah, because we both know that he doesn't care.
Yeah.
I've heard him say it, and I just don't get mad. But the Braves have talent on the farm that's being blocked. Like I said when you were gone, Travis Demeritte, Ozzie Albies, Ronald Acuna. Those are three pieces that I think are going to be long-term pieces for the Braves.
Really?
Yes. Ozzie, obviously at second base with his partner, Dansby.
Right.
Travis Demeritte's going to get a chance at third, I think. And Ronald is going to start in a corner outfield spot, maybe eventually take over center field.
Eventually, but it would have to be far down the road.
At least 5-6 years from now.
Honestly, in my opinion, I'm fine with that because I
he's
love
only 19.
He's only 19. We got somebody that's MLB ready that's 19 years old.
When was the last time the Braves could say that? We now have one of these prospects.
1996 is the last time the Braves could say
You're
that.
very right. Who came up in the World Series and hit dose home runs.
In the same game.
From Curacao. Number 25 on the field. Number 1 in Ricky's heart. Andrew Jones.
You are right.
Sounds like he got peanut butter in his mouth when he talks, though, but he's damn good at baseball.
He's not from America.
I get that, but how many times you said that about Andrelton, who's from the same exact island? Or, Didi Gregorius or Starlin Castro.
I've never heard Didi talk, actually.
Didi actually speaks really good English.
Does he?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever heard Starlin either.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Starlin's from there.
I'm pretty sure Starlin's from the Dominican.
You're right. He's from the Dominican. I'm so racist.
You are pretty racist. But
Matt Kemp blocking in left.
Right.
Brandon blocking at second as much as I love him. And Matt Adams is blocking Freddie
third,
returning. Yeah, indirectly blocking third base. Yeah. So, I think that those pieces could help a real contender,
Yeah.
It would never be someone in division like the Nationals.
All right.
But, maybe we trade Brandon to the Tampa Bay Rays as part of a package to bring back a Chris Archer with a lot of these prospects that we don't want to give up.
Me and you were talking about it the other day when, was it Ozzie that got taken out of the lineup?
Yeah, that was a pretty nice little short talk, too.
Yeah.
There's only two things that could really happen, like, at this time of the year when you're taken out of a lineup.
It's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
But when you said, I think we might have just traded away Brandon or something, I was like, or we traded away Ozzie, which I'm okay with, honestly, because we have so much depth down there, and Brandon doesn't look like he's slowing
Brandon's
up.
not slowing down,
And
but
Brandon is
you don't want to kill your future for a guy who's...
You don't kill your future. With the depth that we have down there, I don't think
it's not much deeper past Ozzie, though. Ozzie is our second baseman.
Okay. All right. You're right. If you're just looking at it from just a position standpoint.
Yes.
I'm looking at the entire depth of the Braves farm system.
Yeah, absolutely. We're
and
super
losing
deep.
Ozzie.
We're the best farm system in
Losing
baseball.
Ozzie hurts, but it doesn't hurt nearly as bad as it could, I guess. As it doesn't hurt as bad as the Cubs farm hurts.
No, because all of their talent is already
given their
here.
2 top 100 guys away.
Yeah.
We give away 1, we've still got
I think
a few left.
5 or 6
yeah,
on the top 100.
you know what I mean? So
maybe more
if
than
we
that.
gave away Ozzie for Chris Archer, I wouldn't be too upset about it. Because like I said, that's a guy that's under control. That's my grandmother. I will call her back.
I'm pretty sure I stopped the video. Yeah.
It did.
Okay.
But it's all right.
We bring you guys the audio podcast because it's the most reliable source.
Yeah. But
It's the only one we know how to do.
I'm fine with giving up an Ozzie Albies only because Chris Archer would... Only in this Chris Archer deal would I be okay with it because Chris Archer is young, he's talented, he's under 4 years, I think, right?
4 years more.
At least 4 years that you got him under your control, and you can do with him what you please. So it's fun talking about this, I think, because the Braves have so many different ways they could go. And it's just everybody's thinking about things. Everybody's being creative on what different ways they
Trade
could go.
scenarios do get real, you know,
they get crazy, man.
Like
they
I was telling you
crazy.
earlier, I was reading, I think it was Tomahawk Chop, the blog from Fansided, and or maybe it was Capital City Avenue. I don't know. One of those Braves fan blogs I was reading, and they mentioned maybe bringing in a guy like Troy Tulowitzki to play third base, moving Freddie back to first. But that still means we've got to get rid of Matt Adams. You know, we can't keep Matt. Matt's not a left fielder. He's not going to play left field.
He's not a left fielder, and at the very most on that team, on a team with with Tulo and Freddie, Matt Adams is a bench bat.
He becomes a left-handed bench bat.
And I have a heart, so he's earned more than just to be a bench bat.
He's shown that, you know, this change of scenery, this reboot has really helped him. You know, he's gotten it back.
I don't even necessarily think it's the restart and change of scenery. Dude obviously worked hard in the offseason, lost a lot of weight. He just didn't get the opportunity in St. Louis because he didn't play badly.
But they moved Matt Carpenter
back to first. Yeah. Matt Adams didn't have bad numbers for the times that he was in the game.
No.
He just didn't get a chance.
They weren't Braves numbers.
They
weren't.
It was small sample size, but they were.
Okay.
He wasn't hitting badly.
I don't know. That was over a month into the season. I don't know how small that sample size is anymore.
But when you're playing 8 games, when you played in 8 games,
that's it.
That's small. He didn't play a lot, man. He did not play a lot. But I think this shows the kind of player that he can actually be, and I love it, honestly. Yeah. But if it,
my whole point is,
as much as I love what he's done, if we can get rid of him and get something better, not necessarily better, but if we can get something that helps us down the road, I'm not too.
And that's what I think that, you know, these guys that we love so much as Braves fans, we just scored another. But, you know, if we can trade Matt.
Kurt Suzuki has been on fire.
Yeah, if Matt Kemp can bring back somebody that, you know, maybe another pitching prospect or 2 pitching prospects, maybe not top of the line ace potential guys, but guys that can help us later on, that's something that Copy's going to look into. Our rebuild is not done. We are, I think, ahead of schedule.
Way ahead.
Just like, you know, the Astros may be this year. Or we thought maybe the Astros were last year.
Yeah.
I mean, these teams that have been rebuilding for not so long, but, you know, the Pirates. Let's think about the Pirates. Pirates haven't won really anything since, you know, 1992, something like that.
I wouldn't know. I wasn't born then.
I think, they had like a 20-year drought between going to the playoffs, remember? Before, like, Kutch and Starling and all those guys got there. Yeah. There was like a 20-year drought. That's a long rebuild. The Astros, you know, they were in the World Series as recently as 2005.
Right.
So, not that long a rebuild.
12 years.
Yeah. And
well,
I'm just talking about...
Assuming they get there this year, but it'd be a 12-year drought.
If we really just think about their rebuild period, that was just a couple years.
It wasn't that long.
No.
And that's the same thing that I try to keep reminding myself about the Braves even. It sucked for a few years.
Yeah, 2014 and 15, or 2015 and 16 were terrible.
But
made it hard.
When was the last time we won a division? Was 2011? 2013 was the last year?
Yeah, when Justin went off.
I mean, it's like, dude, you haven't been struggling.
No, we haven't been struggling.
You know what
long,
I mean?
But I think, you know, when John Hart came in, we all thought, oh, shit, rebuild. 5 years before we even sniffed the playoffs again.
And he did it. He came in to rebuild.
Yeah. He told us from the jump, you know, we're not going to be competitive next year. And he showed us real quick by shipping everybody out. You know, Craig and BJ, Justin, Jason, Chris Johnson. If you were on this roster when we won the division, you were leaving. Yeah. You know, Dan Uggla
unless
gone.
Your name is Freddie.
Yeah. And Julio. Those were the 2 guys that we wanted to build around, and were under club control for a while. We got those really team-friendly extensions. Like, think about what a guy like Freddie would get on the open market right now.
He deserves as much as Bryce.
Yeah. You know, at least somewhere in that Giancarlo territory.
At least.
You know, 13
At least
years.
that 13, 325.
Exactly. So, you know, we got him for 8 years and like 125 or something.
112 or
yeah.
something like that.
A fantastic deal. And Julio's was like 7 and 56. So great deals for guys that'll get you through their primes. And I think next year is the first year that Freddie's actually going to make $20 million or more in a season. So
best first baseman in the league, and he's not getting that much money.
No.
But I think he's, obviously I don't know Freddie, but I think he's okay with it. That's a knock.
Braves set the rally right here. And beating one of the better teams in the league, might I add. You know, Arizona's only 2.5. They've got a 2.5 lead in that first wild card spot. They just showed it.
Yeah,
and
Arizona's that good, but they're not that far behind Colorado, right?
Yeah, they're 50 and 37 after last night's loss, looking like they're on track to be 50 and 38, barring a Jim Johnson breakdown.
Braves on track to be 44 and 45. I'm counting the days until we get back over 500.
You know, a 3-game sweep here could do it.
3-game sweep here would tie us.
Yeah.
I mean, not tie us, but put us
at
500.
Okay. So, next thing, the Marlins.
Here we go rambling again.
I know. I'm trying to get through the rest of this real quick. We're going to save that second topic for the last. The last thing we'll do that as we sign off.
All right.
But the Marlins are looking to purge that roster before they sell the team. I don't know if you've heard, but Jeffrey Loria.
Well, I saw you.
Yeah. Looking to get rid of that entire, or he's trying to get rid of the team and has been for years.
Yeah.
Been trying to sell it for years. Michael Jordan actually joined.
What do you think that is when you dress up as the owner and go down and?
Well, that was Dan.
Oh,
Jennings.
that was the general manager.
Dan Jennings. Yeah, they fired him. And sent him to Arizona or something.
That was still dumb, though.
That was really dumb.
That's just people that don't give
care.
A shit.
And that's the thing. Jeffrey Loria was an art dealer who had enough money to buy a team.
I need to start getting into art.
Right? We're in the wrong fields. Like, that guy had enough money to buy a baseball team, turn him into a very profitable baseball, and a $300 million slugger. At the time, they had a generational talent on the mound.
Yep.
R.I.P.
Love you, Jose.
I'm going to catch some flack for that, I'm sure. But whatever.
I welcome it.
We are not getting into that now. We did earlier. Shout out to Mason.
Mason gets a shout out. Okay. Yeah.
Dante got one yet?
I wasn't going to say his name.
All right. He who shall not be named this week.
Voldemort. Mason gets a shout out, though. Shout out to Mason. We had our Jose Fernandez talk.
Yeah.
He remembers it.
But Michael Jordan has now joined Derek Jeter's group that wants to buy the Marlins. I think that adds a lot more financial firepower and name recognition star power. It also includes Jeb Bush.
I guess.
And
Jeb Bush is a weird one.
But, you know, he was the governor in Florida. Yeah, I think that makes a little bit of sense. But Jeffrey Loria trying to purge that roster is kind of messed up. But they're really looking to move guys like they've already moved to
guys
Daney.
That people would take.
Yeah,
man.
They've already moved to Daney.
They moved to Daney. People would love Christian Yelich. People would love
Marcelo Zuna. That whole outfield is very valuable.
Very valuable.
And could probably bring back a ton.
People would love a Justin Bour.
Yep. The Yankees actually pursuing Justin Bour.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
And that would benefit them, you know.
They need a first baseman.
Yeah, Greg Bird hadn't really panned out the way I think a lot of people thought. Chris Carter, failure.
DFA'd.
Basically, everybody after Tex, you know, after he was, like I said, last season, forced into retirement, I think. That's kind of been a black hole for them, and they are on the rise as well. That's a team with a very stout young farm system. They called up, what's that redhead?
Clint Frazier.
Dude hit a walk-off the other day, and, dude, it jumped off his bat. Real quick hands. And just exploded.
I remember when he got drafted.
I remember
because like his best friend, I believe his name is like
Grayson
Austin Meadows. No, he was drafted.
Both of them were out of Loganville.
Well, Austin Meadows went to like
I want to say it was Loganville High School and Grayson, which aren't far from each other here in the northern Atlanta suburbs.
Right.
But yeah, I remember one of the names.
Southern.
No, Loganville and Grayson are both.
They're not north.
Yeah, they're up 85.
I go down 20 to get there. Well,
You
east
probably
on
would.
20.
And then probably cut up to 85.
I do cut left.
North, dog.
I don't cut up to 85 though.
But you do go
all
north,
the way
though.
down. Yeah, I do go north.
Okay,
so,
so
right.
like I said,
apologize.
northern Atlanta suburbs.
Northern Atlanta though. We're not gonna call that
North
Atlanta.
of Atlanta suburbs.
Yeah, there you go.
That's rambling again. Damn it, dog. We are terrible at this.
It's so country over there. I thought it was southern.
That's fair. That's fair. They got nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, because it is out towards Conyers.
Trust me, I know.
North of Conyers.
Monroe.
Yeah,
Monroe is where I'm going most of the day.
Okay,
and that is
makes
10
sense.
minutes away from Loganville.
That's why. Okay, now I see why you think that Lawrenceville and Grayson, or Loganville and Grayson would be considered country or southern.
Yeah.
But anyways, like I said, that first base position in New York has been a black hole.
Yeah.
But again, they've got a deep farm system, not quite as deep as Atlanta's or now Chicago White Sox, but deep nonetheless.
Right.
But you definitely, if you're trying to build to win a contender, you don't want holes in your roster.
Right.
How many championship teams can you think of where they had a hole 1 through 9? Not many.
I can't think of any.
Not many. I mean, hell, if we just use the last, what's this?
Where's an actual hole? Like,
think about any of the 3 Giants teams that won. The Royals, the last year.
I'd even say, and I love them, but can you name somebody that's performed as poorly as Dansby's performed on one of those championship teams?
No, because like with the Royals in 2015, Alcides Escobar was fantastic. That triple into the gap. I think the leadoff game 5 or 6.
I mean, it's a World Series champion.
You don't have a hole.
Doesn't have a hole.
That's why they win those championships. So the Yankees really should go get Justin Bour, and it will cost them some of that organizational depth. But
I mean,
that's the cost to be the boss.
That's the cost to be the boss, and the Yankees don't care to.
No, and they're not shy to
Clint
spend
Frazier
money.
might be in that deal.
No. I don't think
He's
so.
going back down, man.
I don't think so.
As soon as they get healthy, he's going back down.
That was a big get for them, though. I don't think that
I
he's
understand, but he's going back. He's not. Okay.
He was a big part of that Andrew Miller deal.
Yeah. And
I really hope that's not on record now. Oh, my God, it won't stop.
What?
I just tooted 3 times.
I didn't hear it. I didn't even hear it, so you shouldn't have said nothing.
Oh, well.
But the thing that sucks is as soon as the Yankees get healthy again, Clint Frazier's back down.
Just temporarily.
He'll be back down. He might be back. Maybe. Well, he'll be back September call-ups.
Yep. Ronald Acuna. That's all I'm looking forward to. September 1st is National Ronald Acuna Day.
What if, man, when the roster is expanded, because we get 15 spots to just...
Dude, that's a lot.
That's so much.
Even if we
that's
split
so
that
much
and we
for
go
us.
let's say we go 9 pitchers, 6 position players. Think about how
I got
much.
my 6.
I got 3. That's all I need. You can fill the other 12 with pitchers. I don't care.
Okay, where
I
you
want Travis, Ronald, Ozzy. I think Ozzy may be here before that because I do think Brandon's going to get traded.
Travis, Ronald, Ozzy. Throw in...
Austin? Not Austin Riley.
No. I haven't heard a lot about
Me
Austin.
either. But I know he went back to catcher. No, that was the other one.
That's Alex.
Alex Jackson.
Yeah, that came from Seattle.
Austin Riley's a third baseman. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know what you're doing either. I'm trying to think, man.
See, you said you had your 6.
I thought I did. I thought I knew 6 of our position players that, have been, performing great.
Oh, they're there. I just don't think we
follow
don't
the
hear,
Braves prospects on Twitter.
We just don't
I
hear
see
quite
things.
as much of the other positional players as we do of those big 3.
I think I just see things on Twitter and,
Kevin Maitan, he's coming up.
Kevin
he's only
Maitan.
6'10".
I would
he's
love...
only 16 right now.
6'10". Okay.
He's 16, my bad.
I think that's...
We definitely need to cut it short, but before we get out of here, I do want to do I like the 10-team no trade clause thing we did last week. So I want to do MLB midseason awards.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can come up with some,
we did do a 10.
Yeah, you didn't come up with 10 though. You weren't able to get the 10. I had my 10, but it was easy because I picked the 4 in the division.
Yeah,
that weren't the Braves. So
I remember that. I think that was cheating.
It's not cheating. I don't want to play for any of those teams.
I get that, but if you're in the league, I don't necessarily know if you feel that same way. Because if you weren't drafted by the Braves, would you really feel that same loyalty to the Braves if somebody wanted to?
If I was
the Nats, I get because I absolutely
the Nats
hate
can't get to the World Series, so no, I ain't going there.
I
Philly,
hate the Nats though. Even if they could, I hate them.
Just to touch on it, if I go to Philly, if I'm not hanging out with D and Dennis and Charlie and Mac, I don't want to go. Like
I don't know, man. Them cheesesteaks are supposedly.
I mean, maybe, but a cheesesteak isn't enough to get me to play some baseball there. Oh, Double had a bat flip the other day that was outrageous, though.
He looks like he stinks to me.
Like smelly, like Patrick dirty. Beverly stinky.
Yeah,
I feel you. I feel you. Patrick Beverly just looked homeless.
Herrera is the baseball equivalent to Patrick Beverly. They look great
defensively.
I have never heard a better comparison, man. That was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Jeez, I don't know if you had anything better. Except for when you said that at dinner last week when you said pot kettle.
Oh, the pot calling the kettle black thing. Yeah, we can't touch on that because family might listen to this, so we can't recap that for the listeners. But
you didn't even say it like, is that the pot calling the kettle black?
No,
you just said like,
is the pot calling the kettle black. Like I knew as soon as he said that, he was the last person to need to be saying that word. You know. Anyways. We're gonna do the MLB.
Your mid-season awards, though.
All right, I kind of did a little bit more prep than I have you do before the shows.
Oh, that's just cheating.
Yeah, but I also put together.
This is cheating. What you're doing.
I also put together the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see, I even had to put Kevin Cash's team next to him.
I knew who Kevin Cash was.
I honestly didn't, but Kevin Cash from the Rays. The Rays, I did not expect to be around 500 this year.
Yeah.
They're over 500 the last I checked.
They're good.
So gets my...
They're third in that division, which is...
And it's a good division again.
It's crazy, yeah. It's a good division.
The AL Manager of the Year for me goes to Kevin Cash. NL Manager for me goes to Torey Lovullo of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Like we said earlier, they're 50-37. This team was trash last year.
Yeah.
Shelby Miller was their biggest get in a long time and had a garbage year.
Did not pan out.
And like him and Zach Greinke were supposed to bring that team back to the 0-1 D-backs, and they weren't even close last year.
Didn't happen.
But this year, they're fighting for that NL West title.
Yeah.
So
they got 2 runners.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that Torey Lovullo for the NL. He's just trying to set Jim Johnson up for failure, man. They're trying to get him traded. But I'm gonna go Torey Lovullo for the Diamondbacks. AL Rookie of the Year, without a doubt, Aaron Judge. You could call the season over right now. He gets it.
You can say the same thing about the NL.
Yep, Cody Bellinger. Easy.
Let's just be real.
AL Cy Young, I'm going to go Chris Sale. NL Cy Young, probably at this point, Alex Wood. I know that's probably shocking because he's got a teammate that's just as good,
let's be real.
The teammate is better.
Yeah, he's not even the best pitcher on the staff. But Alex Wood is having a better season. Wood is having a great season. That being said, let's not just scoff at the season that Clayton's having. Don't get me wrong. Though.
I know without even looking at it, Clayton's ERA is in the low 2s.
Yeah.
He's probably already won 11 games.
Clayton's having an amazing year.
Clayton doesn't have a bad year, and even when he does, his ERA is 2.5, and he still wins 16 games. And his team wins.
His ERA right now is 2.18.
What did I say? Low 2s?
Yeah. I mean, it's just...
How many wins he got? Does it say?
I'm about to look up on Baseball Reference.
I said he's probably got 11 wins, so let's see.
Think he's got 11?
Yep.
He's got 14.
Oh, I sold him short. Wow.
14-2 with a 2.18.
Wow.
In 132 innings, he has 159 strikeouts.
But
Jesus Christ.
Like I said, Alex Young is just having...
Alex Wood is not having quite as good
Alex Wood...
Year.
Still
He's
undefeated.
Having a Chris Medlin kind of year. You remember when Chris Medlin did that, where all those games he started, he pitched well.
Would I give Chris Medlin that Cy Young? Yes, without a doubt.
Really?
Yeah. Chris Medlin was a dominant pitcher that year. Probably the most dominant in the National League.
I don't know if I'd call him dominant.
I'll just have to go back and look. But AL MVP, who you got?
AL MVP. Let me think.
Mike Trout's missed
I
a
don't
month.
want to say Mookie.
Okay.
I mean, not Mookie. I don't want to say Aaron Judge because I feel like that's just an easy choice. I haven't seen the guy be great defensively yet. I keep hearing about it, but I just personally haven't seen it.
Oh my God.
My gosh. I'm sorry. But I'll think about my answers.
Okay.
I'll come back and tell you. You tell everybody you didn't tell your AL MVP.
Well, my AL MVP is Aaron Judge.
Oh.
Especially if the Yankees find a way to make the playoffs. Obviously, with a guy like Mike Trout being down for so long, he's already missed, a month and a half. So that already takes out him winning for me. Now, the National League side is a little bit tougher for me, I'll be honest with you. Early May, I would have given it to Freddie Freeman. Now we are in mid-July, and I honestly could not tell you. But I'm about to look up who I think it is. Like I said, Aaron Judge for me, definitely. And as much as I hate to say this, I've probably got to go with... I'm gonna say if the Diamondbacks continue to keep this up, my NL MVP will finally be Paul Goldschmidt.
Really?
Yeah. If they can creep into the playoffs in any shape, form, or fashion, Paul Goldschmidt's had a hell of a year. Always does. He is a consummate professional. Other than Freddie Freeman, I don't know if there's another first baseman in the National League I'd want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Paul Goldschmidt. He's finally gonna get one.
All right. AL Cy Young, I'll go with Chris Hill.
Okay.
NL Cy Young, personally, I gotta go with Clayton, just because of the numbers that I just laid out for you. And Alex Wood's numbers aren't as good. I think I left before I got a chance to actually tell you about him. Alex Wood is obviously 10-0.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that. He's got an amazing... This I did not see.
Yeah.
He's got an absolutely amazing 1.67 ERA.
Yeah.
But in 80 innings, he's... 80 innings? That's pathetic. Through 15 games, he's got 80 innings.
It's over 5.
That's not a good look, though.
But it's over 5. You know, he's getting you through half a game at least.
I'm not happy with that.
He's getting you through half a game with only 2 runs given up. So
not even, yeah.
Yeah. He's giving you a great chance to win every night.
And he's got more than a 9 per 9 K average, yeah.
Okay.
So
not a bad pick.
He's got 97 strikeouts and 80 innings. I just wish he was going longer. But even still, I'm taking Clayton, I think, as my NL Cy Young.
I'm going to type these out, and then I'm going to save them for later in the year. That way we can look back at them.
Okay. And
who you got for MVP?
NL MVP would be, if the Braves make it, Freddie.
Even missing, 40 games?
If the Braves make the playoffs, Freddie Freeman is the reason.
Okay. I think the team did pretty well without Freddie.
Team had a winning record without Freddie.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah. We talked about it.
Me. That is absolutely crazy to me.
Look, but Paul Goldschmidt hit 313, 21 home runs, and he's 1 for 4 with a single and a steal tonight, and probably about to drive in all 3 times.
Freddie Freeman hitting over 340 he's missed 40 games.
Yeah.
And he's hitting and he has 16 home runs.
Okay.
So, like I said, if they make the playoffs, I'm choosing Freddie Freeman.
All right, so we got Freddie and Paul Goldschmidt.
I don't have an AL MVP. I'll go with Aaron Judge. I don't have one because I don't pay enough attention to the American League to know an MVP.
Okay.
So
I'll leave your side, open.
Question mark, yeah.
That's kind of not fair because, in September you're going to throw out a name and be like, oh, I was right.
I won't throw out a name, especially if you got them written down. Obviously, I didn't
Yeah, but
How can I be
question mark
right
just
if-
question mark leaves it open ended. Like you could be like, oh, I didn't know in July, but in September I know.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like that's how everybody's gonna be.
Nah, I know right now Aaron Judge about to win a World Series this year.
They're not winning the World Series. Actually, since you said that, my MVP is Jose Altuve.
Finally, Jose gets some love.
I'll give it to Jose.
Finally, you give Mighty Mike some love.
Because that's definitely who's winning the World Series. The Astros are winning the World Series.
And you know, if...
So you can go ahead and write that down.
Okay. If him and Evan Gaddis get a ring this year, I'll be okay with it. Brian McCann.
I'm absolutely here for former Braves getting rings. I'm sorry.
Unless they go to New York. Or Washington.
Or unless they go to Washington. They can go...
Nah, I don't want them playing for the Yankees either, winning rings.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that. But if they can go anywhere else and win a ring, I'm fine.
Look, Paul Goldschmidt's up there just battling until he gets one right over the plate, and he's going to tie the ball game.
He about to ground out.
Nope. He going to ground out to the chop house.
Probably ain't going to ground out.
Nope.
Rookie of the Years, we agree. Manager of the Year. I'm going to go, as far as the National League, I'm going to go with the Rockies head coach. Is it Clint?
I don't know.
I think it's still Clint Hurdle.
No, he hasn't been there in a while because remember they had Walt Weiss.
Sorry, Walt Weiss. That's who it is. Clint Hurdle's in Pittsburgh.
Manager. Yeah, I don't know what you're... Bud Black, bro. So you're going to go Bud Black.
It's somebody. Yeah, I'm going Bud Black.
And for the AL.
For the AL, let me think.
Joe Girardi.
Stop it. Joe wasn't even good when he played, much less a manager.
He got a ring, though, in 96.
I didn't... Okay. So is Teron Lue. Who actually was asleep at a game the other day.
Yeah, he fell asleep during the summer league.
That is absolutely hilarious.
Hey, let's not question goats who fell asleep during games because Griffey did it too.
So you calling Tyronn Lue a goat?
Anybody that's good enough to get stepped over by AI, yes, because Tyron still got that ring.
No.
Yeah.
No.
AI didn't get the ring.
No,
Just saying.
I feel you, but it was literally Allen Iverson against the Los Angeles Lakers.
Ooh, I do have a nice little sleeper pick for the National League Manager of the Year if the Braves can somehow find a way to make the playoffs.
You think Snit?
If Snit can find a way to get us into the playoffs, I think that he deserves some love.
Wouldn't be bad. For whatever reason, man, I feel like the Braves fan base is all over, but I feel like they don't get love.
It's definitely
weird.
torn. If
weird.
you guys are Braves fans out there, we're about to sign off. This is another hour and a half long show.
Yeah, we're sorry.
But if you guys are Braves fans out there, you can hit us up at the Battery Pod. I don't even know the name.
We have a Twitter now.
The show has a specific Twitter.
We got drunk and
made a Twitter, an extra Twitter.
Yeah.
Paul Goldschmidt totally grounded out though.
I told you.
Damn, Rick. Battery_podcast. Or you can continue to follow me at Lame Gretzky76, LAME Gretzky, and Ricky.
You can follow me at Not Even Rich.
But
that is on Instagram and Twitter.
But if you guys are Braves fans or just fans of the show, feel free to contact us and let us know who you think is going to win these awards at the end of the season.
But guys, just follow the podcast page. That is awesome.
I keep up with it
I
a
would
lot.
rather you follow the podcast page because that makes me feel like people are listening and give a shit about what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
that's a good point.
Just follow the podcast page. Everything we do as far regarding the podcast will be on there.
Yeah, I'll definitely monitor that more as more people start to follow it.
Very true.
That's all I've got for today, unless you want to throw anything else out there.
I did, but I absolutely forgot it, so I guess.
Well, if you remember it.
We've come.
All right, we're not going to keep singing on this show. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I'm Cody. That's Ricky. We're out of here.
I can't let